Hello, everybody. This is Jason here with Levelhead Trading. Glad to be here. Thought I would give an update during the middle of the stock market. Going to talk about Tesla and just the market overall and what's happening. So we have a little bit of, I guess you could say, a little bit of a pop, but relative to the close on Friday last week, we are just a little bit higher than where we closed on Friday. So Friday we closed at 218.89. So we're less than a dollar above that close. Um, but the wick on Friday, notice again what I was mentioning on Friday was that we reached up to the previous day, which was holding underneath the 200-day moving average. And so we rejected pretty hard. And today, now we were trying to reach up to the top of Friday's highest point. So on Friday, the highest level that Tesla reached was 225.34, and so today, the highest level that it reached was 223.49 at the moment. The day's not over yet, but what I'm going to look at next, and then I'll come back to Tesla, is the overall market. So, if everything in the overall market in general, if the indexes are going down, not just a little bit, but, a pretty good amount, then that's going to be hard for Tesla to sustain, in my opinion, any sort of substantial bounce. So I'm going to go into the three sectors. Let's go to the SPY. So the SPY today is down 0.64%. Again, this is a similar candle to the way Tesla looked on Friday, where we reached up into the lower end of Friday's session and we rejected from that. We reached up to 476.61, and now we're giving that back. So on SPY's chart, it's been due for some consolidation. I've been waiting for it for a long time. I mentioned in some other video that I made, which was about the overall stock market, where I was shorting the market, not actually SPY, but QQQ and the Dow Jones Industrials, but they all are pretty much the same thing. So just using the very top of the highs as my stop loss on my short position. So as you see, SPY here, making higher highs, higher low, higher high, and then here you made a lower low compared to the levels here, and then you pretty much double topped up here. Maybe you finished a little bit higher. I mean, not finished higher, but maybe you pushed out a little higher. 478.60 was the high, and over here the high was 477.55. So actually, Friday was the all-time high on SPY. So jumping over to QQQ, technology sector, very similar to the look of SPY, but notice the low really broke much lower than that low there. And so coming up, and again today, it was trying to get some momentum back up towards the upside, but rejected so far. We still have about an hour and 20 minutes left in the day. So we pushed up to 411.12 on Friday, 411.25, and on Thursday, 411.20. So those 3 days there show you that it's rejecting from that price level, 411.20, 411.25, and 411.12 today. And so if we finish down here or even lower, to me, that is a pretty critical resistance area. And so what that means in general, and then the last one is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Like I said, I had well, I didn't say that in my Tesla video, but in my other video on the stock market in general, I was using the top of this because it was pretty clear to me that it was a good risk reward to short this based on the highs here. And that's very similar to what I just showed you on QQQ, where you have 3 days in a row where it hit that price of 411 and change and could not break over it. So to me, that was a good risk reward. And the Dow, the DIA, is down more today than QQQ or SPY. But going back to Tesla, that to me puts pressure on Tesla. It could, it could go up some more tomorrow, possibly get up into this area of 225, maybe to 230. But it doesn't look like it will, but it's possible. There's a lot of buying that came in here right at the low this morning, which was 212. So it had an $8 move to the upside. What I was mentioning before also was that I might be interested in buying for a quick flip where there might be a 4, 5, 6% pop in Tesla, but I did not buy here. And in fact, what I actually did is I shorted it at the, in the short, it was at the highs of Tesla. So what I was looking at, just to give you my perspective, I was looking at the 5-minute chart this morning on Tesla. So, and again, I'll mention the 200 period moving average, which I like to use a lot now. So I was using it, here it is right here on the 5-minute time frame. So this is the 200 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. So this morning, this is what happened. Tesla just kept going up and up and up and up. And right in this area was where I decided to short it. And so if Tesla is going to even confirm a 5-minute trend change, then it needs to at some point pull back and then create a higher high. So right now it's close to this is really to me, I won't even say that. This is really to me just a 5-minute possible bull flag, but it's just on the 5-minute time frame. And so I'll get stopped out today if it breaks over the high of today. So that's where I used my short-term stop loss on Tesla today, just using the high right here. So in reverse, TSLQ, which is the short, that's where I put my stop. So just looking at that in the very, very small time frame, that's not going to give you any answers really. So we are just holding strong on the 5-minute time frame on Tesla, not on the Tesla short, but just on Tesla stock overall. But again, so okay, maybe you make a higher high overall in this, then you got to zoom out. This could look like a 15-minute bull flag. So here's the high, here's the low, lower high, higher low. So this is where we are just in today's action. But again, in the big picture, I'm going to try not to have too much of a bias here, but you have to say the facts, and the facts are the overall market is down, and that's not going to help Tesla. Sometimes it can be stronger than the market, and sometimes the market can be stronger and Tesla can be weaker, which was the case, I believe, on Friday, that Tesla went down percentage-wise quite a bit more than the actual market did. So today, because things got extreme on the small time frames, on the hourly time frame, Tesla, let's look at that. I like to use the RSI levels. So if you look here, prior to today, the hourly was down at 22 and 22. And then we opened even lower. So that just, was a flush and people came in and bought it. But, in the big picture, this is not really anything to be excited about if you're a Tesla bull, because we still haven't really done much. If you look at the overall picture, this is just the hourly time frame. These are the exponential moving averages that I like to use. These are the 12 period and the 26 period. So we got right up to the 12, which is underneath the 26. So that means you're in a downtrend on whatever time frame you're using. So notice how it's does not penetrate through that 12 period. Makes a bear flag, can't get through that 12 period. Another flag here, and then this morning it opens here. But things were extreme, on the small time frames. But again, running right up into the 12 period exponential average. So if you're going to really change things, you need to first, I won't even mention the 5-minute time frame. That was just a trade I was doing. But you need to first start changing the hourly trend. So this is not an hourly trend change yet. So let's just say today we finish somewhere in this area, and then tomorrow we go higher. Okay, so that's just basically an hourly bull flag with potentially a higher open tomorrow, or let's just say it just pushes higher. But then you need to have a pullback at some point, form an hourly higher low relative to this low, and then whatever the high that had been reached, you need to exceed that. And then if that were to happen, then you would have your daily low would be set. The low would be set. So hypothetically, let's just say we pull up to here and then we pull back on the hourly, and then we make a higher hourly high. Then, as I was mentioning, if you have a big enough bounce, then if you were interested, in my opinion, you would then have to use this as your stop loss, the low of today's candle, if we have much more upside. But again, what I would do is if we had, a strong enough bounce, then I would still be waiting for that hourly higher low to form somewhere above the low of this candle. So if that were to happen, that would be the way that I would play that. So again, I'll just draw some lines with what happened today on the daily chart, and then I will be done. I really appreciate all the views. I didn't know what was going to happen if I made a video about Tesla, but I thought, let me, instead of making one video that covers many different things, I think it's logical to come to the conclusion that some people are just interested in one or two things, and they don't want to listen to 10 other stocks or commodities talked about when they're only interested in a few things. So there's the low of today. So I'll leave that in there. Try to leave that in there for my next video, which I'll make tomorrow. And we'll see. So it's a higher low relative to that level right there, which is the 205 level there. So that was the trend change where you bottomed out more recently, the daily trend change where you came down here to the 193 area and then you formed a higher low. So that's basically what I'm saying here. If you have a big enough bounce, then if this is going to be the higher low to this, then that is what I would use as my stop loss. So let's just say we go up to 230 and then we pull back down to 225, whatever, then that would be a good risk reward because you already have a level to play off of and not lose too much of your money if it is not the higher low. So we will see. We will see. This should play out by the end of this week, I think, as far as potentially this being the higher low or that it's not the higher low. I think it'll probably play out in the next 3 days. Well, we got only 3 days, trading after today left this week. So just going to have to wait and see. So there's a decent amount of volume, not not overwhelming. We only have one more hour left. You see on these candles, the volume was a little bit higher, and that's where you pushed higher and higher. So that's it. That's my video for today. I really appreciate all the views and the new subscribers. So keep it up, and I'll keep it up, and we'll talk tomorrow. So have a good day.